It's great to see you today on the Raven's Nest, finding hope and spirit in these interesting times. And don't forget to subscribe.
Now, who knows what's going to happen? There could be a lot of like, are you kidding me? I didn't see that coming. And also things that I was waiting for that to happen that
Mhm.
might unfold. And so, how I deal a lot with these subjects in the groups that I run of how to not drown in the worry or the anxiety or the length of time it feels like it takes. I
Mhm.
mean, looking at the Iranian people, I mean, that's been decades, right?
Mhm.
Almost as long as I've been alive of real horror, and then also in so many other places, Ukraine. It's 4 years now, and I hope that what we're going through doesn't extend that long to that degree and get worse. And that depends a lot on all the us's, right? And
Right.
how we can navigate um, I call them micro upliftments, things that kind of like you mentioned, sitting with someone, having a conversation with a like minded person can be uplifting a bit, or at least soothing of some aspects of feeling small and alone. And what is it going to take for us to not tune out and not pretend it's not happening? Um, and also stay engaged about the things that we can do and
Mhm.
together work our way towards whatever the next thing is and move towards a more benevolent future because it's absolutely within our ability to do that if we work together well enough. And that's really, we'll see how that comes together. Um, and I hope that we can do that.
Well, I'm even simple things like you talk about micro positivity.
Mm-hmm.
Simple things like going through the grocery line and thanking the cashier. Just
Mm-hmm.
saying, thank you for being here today. It always I've been shopping at the same grocery store for probably the last 20 years now, and seeing the same people there day in and day out, and just recognizing them from time to time, going, "Hey, it's really nice to see you. How you doing today?"
Mm-hmm.
And just taking that couple of seconds doesn't extend the process of checking out any longer. It's just a nicety, and everyone I think probably appreciates being at least recognized,
Seen,
and
yeah,
being
noticed,
seen
in a
and
positive way that's not complaining or
right,
yeah,
right, exactly.
trouble for them.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Having
and
anyone having the public facing work
mhm,
is under that's a whole category of a group of people who have. It's always the case, but especially when people are more stressed or less kind, and I would say that's true now.
mhm.
It's tough. So of not getting to the point of hating people.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the same thing with our friends and family. It's easy for us to take them for granted. And because we see them every day, and trying to remember to be thankful for the ways in
Yeah, and
which they make
expressing
our
that.
lives easier, and expressing that,
Hmm.
because it's very easy to ruminate on the ways in which they sometimes make our lives harder, uh, because it's a responsibility whenever you're involved with someone, as a
Hmm.
family member or as a friend. There's a certain level of responsibility there, but by the same token, they have a certain level of responsibility with you, and recognizing that and thanking them for even just small things like, hey, you know what? I noticed that you took the garbage cans out this week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Hmm.
And it seems like a really nothing thing, but just kind of that recognition makes a difference in the ways in which people walk through the world. Uh, Maybe the same
Yeah.
thing even for ourselves, noticing
Oh, I
when we
that's the
do
first
things
relationship. Because
right
if we can't
that
do it
are.
for ourselves, with ourselves, we can't do it for anyone else.
Mhm,
Well, anyway,
mhm,
and and so that is our closest relationship is ourself,
right.
and people often skip over that completely.
Mhm,
And I would say on the self level, to listen inside of ourselves about the voices or the tapes, sometimes people say, of what is spinning in our head. How cruel is it? How discounting is it? How diminishing is it? Like, oh, you're stupid. Why did you do that? You're so dumb. I find that most things that like that talk to us or ramble on to us, where it deludes our self-awareness and confidence. They're not even our voices. They're from others, right, in our past. And so one thing that we can definitely always practice is when we hear, and it feels like us saying it to ourselves. So it's kind of tricky. But when we hear anything that is really not helpful, where it makes us feel bad, I tell people to pretend that voice is someone else's, and kind of look right at it, or say, hey, because we most of the time we wouldn't put up with such things from a physical person. We would distance ourselves from them if that's all that comes out of their mouth about us. And so we need to stand up for ourselves in our inner space as well. And because most of the voices are not even ours, we've absorbed them. But most of us, almost all of our life, until we recognize that it's not what it feels like, we just think, oh, I think this, or oh, well, this is just the way it is. And they don't even really notice the voice or the feeling. So that is something. And okay, so also another type of thing internally that we do need to listen to are the nudges and harder, like pushes, of when we need to rest, when we need to stop, when we need to quit taking on other things, other people's things. Oh, sure, I can do that. And inside you're like, oh my God, no. And because that burns us out, and it makes our body work harder than it needs to. And so that's another thing we can do is listen to the voice that wants to take care of us. And people end up thinking, I'm being lazy, I'm being self-centered, I need to just show up when I'm asked. And I would say people raised in the realm of female roles definitely get that. And so we really need to train ourselves out of that and have boundaries.